are now tuned in with Trophy. Go Trophy. We can laugh, crack jokes, be open. Go Trophy. Only with Trophy.
Good afternoon, Tro Squad. So I had a whole nother video planned for y'all today. I wanted to do like the Popeyes versus I want to do the Popeyes versus Chick-fil-A versus Wendy's chicken sandwich thing. And I went to Wendy's, I got the chicken sandwich, and then when I went to Popeyes, they was like, we're out of chicken sandwiches. So I'm like, yeah, and that's the only Popeyes that's close to me. It's another Popeyes that was like 15 minutes away, but I was like, I don't want to drive all the way. And then they say they're out of chicken sandwiches too. So I was just like, you know what? I'm about to eat my Wendy's sandwich. I ain't even get to go to Chick-fil-A. I'm gonna eat my Wendy's sandwich, and then I stopped by McDonald's to get some fries to go with it. So I got McDonald's fries, Wendy's chicken sandwich, and then I got the Minute Maid slushy. I've been wanting to try this one. I was gonna try the fruit punch one, but the lady was like, she liked the peach one, so pretty good. Pretty good. Terrell's back there sleeping, snoring. You probably hear him. Hopefully he doesn't wake up. But if he does, then I guess he can come in the front seat with me. Today's video, we're going to be talking about why I quit teaching. Finally. I've been saying I'm going to make this video. Finally making it, y'all. Why did I quit teaching? And honestly, I don't even know if it's whole video worthy. Because, I mean, I guess I could tell y'all my reasons why I quit. Alright, so this is the Wendy's chicken sandwich. Have y'all ever tried the Wendy's chicken sandwich? I tried it before and it was pretty darn good. But this thing is like $5. $5 and something for this chicken sandwich. Are you kidding me? Like, are you serious? Ridiculous. So I guess this is a mukbang. This thing is spicy. Gosh. It's good though. Probably not Popeye's chicken sandwich good, but it's good. Alright. Why did I quit teaching? A lot of y'all been asking like, when you gonna make the video? I didn't know it was such high demand. Okay, so just a background on me. I'm 29 years old and I taught for 5 years. If I would have continued teaching, this would have been my 6th year. No. Actually, it wasn't 5 years, it was 6 years. So I taught for 6 years, and this would have been my 7th year. I started teaching right out of college. And on my 6th year, which was last year, I got pregnant. I got pregnant at the beginning of the school year. So I found out I was pregnant, y'all, like the weekend before we had to go back to school. Not before the kids had to go back to school, but before we had to go to school. So before the teachers had to go back to school, that's when I found out I was pregnant, which is crazy. My whole last year, I was pregnant, and then I started my maternity leave right after spring break. I started my maternity leave after spring break. So after the middle of March, I didn't go back to work, and I could have worked until my due date, but I didn't want to. Like, I was so over it. I was drained. I didn't want to do it no more. So I decided to take a extra like 6 weeks before I had the baby off, because I just was over it. I didn't want to do it anymore. So the main reason why I quit teaching is because I got pregnant and I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I wanted to stay at home with my baby. I didn't want to put him in a daycare. Man, it's so good. How do people do mukbangs? Man, y'all don't be judging me, because that's the thing. You eat and you talk, right? You eat and talk. It's good. The spice is right. As I was saying, the main reason why I quit teaching is because I want to stay at home with my son, and I didn't want to put him in a daycare, because he would have to be in a daycare right now at 3 months, because the school year just started back. So right now I still feel like he's too young to be in daycare. And y'all been hearing, I know you guys have heard all the horror stories on the news, all the stuff that's been happening with daycare and babies, and I just don't trust nobody else my son, because people, you don't know what they mind at, You don't know what people's mind is, what they be thinking about. They might get frustrated because he crying and want to shake him or something. I don't know. People are crazy. So I feel more comfortable being at home with him and taking his time off. And also, I was honestly getting tired of teaching y'all. Like, if you watching one of my videos, I think it was like a teaching Q&A a while ago. It was like years ago. And I was talking about why I got into teaching. And I said that I never had like a passion. You know how some people that have a passion, like all their life, all my life, I want to be a teacher. We have teachers in my family, it runs in my family and all that stuff. I didn't have that same type of passion. So that might have been one of the reasons why I kind of got burnt out after a while. And I just didn't want to do it anymore. Like, I was over it. And when I get over something, I don't enjoy it anymore. I don't like it. I just don't want to do it. Like, I don't want to waste my years, my time doing something I don't love, that I don't like. Like, you know, some people, they could be miserable in a job and don't like it, but just do it because, you know, it's a paycheck and they're like stagnant and they'll stay in the same position even though they're unhappy. I'm not like that. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to have like a miserable life, because honestly, teaching is one of the most unappreciated jobs out there. It should be appreciated more, because teachers are the people who shape the youth, and they're the people who, I pretty much teach everybody. They teach all professions. They teach the doctors, the lawyers, the firefighters, the policemen. Everybody had a teacher. We're not really that appreciated. First of all, the pay sucks. Like, the pay sucks. If I told y'all how much I got paid, y'all be like, oh, I understand. On top of us not making that much money, they expect us to break our necks and do all this extra stuff. It's like, no. So, like a regular job, usually at a regular job, you'll clock in, and then when you off, you off. But with teaching, you have to do all this extra stuff. You have to go home, you have to grade papers, which is extra time. You have to do lesson plans, which is extra time. You have to look up resources. Sometimes you have to buy stuff. Well, a lot of times you have to spend your own money on stuff, because the school doesn't like give you a budget when it comes to like extra activities and the fun stuff. They'll give you like boring textbooks and stuff like that, but everything else you got to pretty much make yourself, or you have to print out yourself, or you have to buy yourself. And the time that they give you, like the planning time, we got like 45 minutes a day, and that wasn't enough, because half the time we'll be in meetings, and the other time, half the time, you're either meeting with parents or trying to get copies and stuff. This is not enough time in a day to do what you need to do. You always have to have, sorry y'all, I feel so weird eating and talking. You always have to like, you always need more time, and it's not enough time. So you always end up having to take your work home. And I was the type of person that I just refused to like take my stuff home and grade papers and stuff. Every now and then I would, but for the most part I would stay after school and do it, because I just wanted to leave all my work at school, and it was the way I helped stay sane. That was one of the reasons why I was able to stay sane, because like some teachers, if you go inside of a school and just like observe all the teachers, you can just see all the stress on their face, because we have a big load that they put on us. It's a lot of expectations and stuff like that. So I would try to not stress myself out that much and not take my work home. So most of the time I wouldn't take it home, but every now and then I would have to. It was like, it just was not enough time. So that was another reason, the workload, not having enough time in a day and having to take all this work home and do all this extra stuff to be still getting paid just a little bit. And every couple of years they try to give you just a little raise to make you feel better, but still getting paid a little. Like, another thing is that extremely high unrealistic expectations. Like a lot of times, well, in my school where I was at, about, I say, half of the kids will come to you and they won't be on level. The actual students weren't bad. Like, the students in my class, they were really good for the most part. And for the most part, they paid attention and they were well behaved. Of course, you had a few of them that kind of tested your patience, but for the most part, they were pretty good. I had a pretty good group, but my last group this year was like really, really low. A lot of them were ESL students, so they were originally in bilingual classes and they took away the bilingual program, so a lot of them barely spoke English. So basically I was teaching them from the beginning, teaching them how to read. The kids in my class this year, they're pretty good. I just had a rough group because of the fact that they weren't that fluent with English. A lot of them were ESL students, and they were originally in a bilingual program, and then they got moved to my class. So they slowly, in my school, they slowly started taking away the bilingual program. So the kids that were in bilingual, like in first grade, all of a sudden in second grade, they're like in straight English class. So that was like a hard transition for them, and they were basically just still trying to learn how to read and stuff. And it's hard to have really good test scores and stuff when they're still trying to learn English and they're still trying to read. So that was a challenge. I mean, but that's just a part of teaching. I could tell I was getting drained though, because I did not enjoy going to work every day. I was just over it. Like, I just was over it. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy waking up every morning, going to work, having to deal with kids, having to deal with their parents, having to deal with administration, all the emails, all this extra stuff. I just kind of got over it. And I feel like I'm not even getting paid enough to do this. And then I also have YouTube, and believe it or not, y'all, I can make more money as a YouTuber than as a teacher. So I'm like, I might as well stay home with my son, enjoy those moments, you know, me being home, feeling at ease with the fact that I'm at home with him, and then I could also do YouTube. Like, that's perfect, and I don't have to be stressed out about all this data, overworking myself and doing all this extra stuff and not being appreciated. And then nowadays, a lot of people, they get into teaching and they don't stay in it for long like they used to back in the day, because it's really, really hard these days with all the tests. Like, it's so much stress and so much emphasis on test scores and everything. It's just crazy. Like, you don't really get to just teach. You have to teach them for the tests. Like, it's all about the tests. It's not fun learning or anything like that. You have to teach them for the tests. And they started to test these kids earlier and earlier. Like in kindergarten, they're using Scantrons and stuff. Like, what? I remember we didn't have to start using Scantrons until later on. That was like a cool thing. Like, oh, we're using Scantrons now. Elementary, we were learning, but it wasn't so much pressure on testing and stuff. I don't think we had to start thinking about that till like 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade. But like now, earlier and earlier, it's all about test scores. It's all about data. It's all about all this other stuff. And it's just a lot. It's a lot of pressure. Like, kids can't even write, and y'all trying to make them do all this extra stuff. I think I'm much happier now that I quit teaching, and it's just like, I feel so much better. So much better. I feel free. Yes, I feel so free. That's why I quit teaching. I feel like now would be a good time for me to quit anyway, because I'm still young and I have so many opportunities and so many other things I could do. Like, teaching is just one job. There's so many other things that I can do that I'll be happier at. Like, right now I'm doing YouTube, and I'm able to earn money by just vlogging my life, which is perfect, and just making videos, and also spending time with my son, which is way better than having to go to work and just be stressed. And if YouTube fails or anything like that in a year or two or whatever, I always have my teaching license, so I can always go back to teaching. So I think it's a good time for me to, you know, explore other things now and if I want to, I can go back to teaching always, because there's always going to be teaching jobs available. So instead of me feeling stuck and being unhappy in a position, I changed it. And that's what I think everybody should do. If you are in a position or somewhere that you don't want to be and you don't like it and it's not making you happy, then don't do it. Go somewhere else. It's like millions and millions of jobs that you can work at, millions of opportunities, millions of things that you can do. And you don't have to be stagnant. You don't have to do something that you don't love, do something that you don't enjoy, just so that you can have security. Security can be like a handicap. You feel so secure in a job, and it kind of paralyzes you, and it makes you like stay there, because you know, like, okay, I know I'm gonna get a check, I know I'm gonna get paid every 2 weeks like clockwork. But oftentimes people, when like the people, they start their own businesses and they become millionaires and billionaires and stuff, they had to go against the mold. They couldn't be like a regular person. They weren't secure. They had to take a risk. They had to go against what everybody else was doing. So if you want to be great, sometimes you have to do that. But yeah, it wasn't really any specific incident or anything that made me quit teaching. It was just the fact that I was over it and I wanted to be at home with my son. And you never know, I might go back to teaching. It's always going to be there. So yeah. And by the way, don't be that person, and don't be that person in the comment section down below talking about teaching is such an easy job. I don't know why you don't like it. All you gotta do is go to work and read to the kids. Don't you ever disrespect me like that. Don't you ever disrespect me like that. Teaching is so much more than just reading to the students and doing fun little activities. You got to do lesson plans. You got to grade their papers. You got to talk to their parents. And these are all different types of people from different backgrounds that you have to like get along with. A lot of people. You have to be a people person. And that's another thing. I'm not that much of a people person. I mean, I could talk to y'all on the camera and be all cool, and I have a good personality, I would say, but like talking to people all the time can be draining. And trying to be happy and be in a good mood every day is a lot. But yeah, you gotta do that. You gotta talk to parents. You gotta talk to administrators. You gotta be graded on your teaching and just a whole bunch of stuff. It's just a lot. It's pretty stressful. So yeah, that's basically the reason why I quit teaching. It wasn't anything major, any major reason. I was just kind of over it, and then I had Terrell, so I was like, this is the perfect opportunity to just get out of it. And also Big Terrell is a big help, because he's letting me focus on doing my YouTube stuff, and then, you know, we're working together with all the house stuff and the bills and all that type of stuff. So he also motivated me to go after my dreams and go after like what I want to do, versus just staying at a job that I really don't want to be at. So I thank him for that. So yeah, y'all, that's why I quit teaching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was a good enough explanation for you guys. It wasn't anything big or anything in particular. I was just over it. I was done with it. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you guys enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up. Comment down below anything you have to say about me quitting, how you feel about it. If you're a teacher, how do you feel about teaching? If you plan on going into teaching, how do you feel about it, or whatever. So yeah, I love you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Only with trophy. Yeah, go girl.